What's going on, man? Today is excuse me. Today is May the 18th, 2024. It's Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA Show, where I'm live on Twitter, also live on YouTube as well. Do me a favor in the comment section if you guys can, and let me know if you guys can hear me. My AirPods died, so I'm doing this without my AirPods in today, which is gonna feel a little weird. But let me know. Somebody comment in the YouTube section or Twitter and let me know if you guys can hear me, and if you guys can hear me good, so I know I don't need to change the audio. Somebody just give me a thumbs up or something and let me know that the sound is good. All right, appreciate you, Mark. Says hearing you well. First, I gotta apologize, man. A couple minutes late. I'm on daddy duty today, and my son happened to pop up right when I was gonna start the show. So he was sleeping good. We was up late last night, and he decided to wake up right before. So I'll keep the show quick because I do got to get back to him. But we do have one NBA game for today, and we got 4 W games for today as well. So excited to break them down and chat it up with you guys. I'm gonna try to go through the comments as quickly as I possibly can. Yesterday I didn't send out any official plays. I really like the Knicks, and kind of just feels like you're supposed to take the team that lost on the road in the last game, especially if they're home favorite in a bounce back spot. So I looked into that though, because I'm just curious, like all the home teams just been winning as of late. And what I found was, I wanted to share this with you guys real quick before we jump into the show. What I found was this season in the playoffs, if you just blindly taking the home favorite that's coming off a road loss, you're 13-2 straight up, 10-5 against the spread. These home favorites are winning by an average of 13 points per game, and the road dog has actually been held under their team total in 7 straight instances. This happened with the Knicks last night. This happened with the Denver Nuggets the night before. So yeah, if you just blindly take the home favorite that's coming off the road loss, you've been making a lot of money. I wanted to share that real quick. What up to my guy Derek? I see him in the chat. Says he took Dallas minus the 3.5 in the full game under. We're gonna jump into it. He says Maddie got it at 208, and it's sitting at 210. I thought it would have kept dropping. What up to my guy Justin? Here's well. Son popped in on me already. All right, so let's just take your time. We're here. Appreciate that, Justin. What's up, Tasha? Appreciate you for being here. Joe, always with us in the morning. Appreciate you as well. Mom is just the best. Says good morning, everyone. Can't wait till Ooga limited edition ChrisBeCappinn bobbleheads got a spot for it already. I don't know if they ever coming, but we'll see. Chill says, what's up, gang? Let's go Mavs. Tasha says there will be a game 7. Jack says, who y'all like tonight? OKC or the Mavs? What up to my guy Frank in the chat? Mark here, as always, with us as well. Just let's have a great day. Zach, let's see what he says. He says, do we expect 1, regression from the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league this season, or 2, do we expect Dallas to continue lock down perimeter D and control the glass? That's really what it comes down to. He says that. He said that's what it comes down to. I'm right there with you, Zach. We're going to jump into that game in a second. What up, Matt? Appreciate you for being here. He says WNBA money today. Or says I can't trust the team that won game 4 always just to lose game 5 at home. Mavs for me, they won the last game in OKC. Doesn't want to come back for game 7 here. Mark says he agree. All right, so y'all was already discussing the game. We'll jump into it. I'll catch up on these comments because there's a lot of them that came in while you guys are waiting for me. So I apologize for that. Let's jump into it for today. As far as the W yesterday, the plays that I did like cashed. It was Connecticut team total over 83.5. It took to the fourth quarter, big fourth quarter, 32 points, but they did get there with that team total to go over. Seattle Storm team total to go over. They didn't end up winning the game. That game with the double overtime last night. I actually fell asleep watching the Storm battle it out with the Lynx last night in Minnesota, and those were the 2 WNBA games. So if you tell the NBA play, you lost. But if you tell the looks that I had for the W, you definitely made a couple dollars. Let's jump into it for today. Like I said, just 1. And you guys can pick the members, same thing. Still continue to pick, which side and which team you think is going to win today's game and the predicted game, the predicted point totals for both teams. So if you think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win this one, 105-102, just let me know. 1 guess per game, 1 guess per contest, one guess per game. Your first guess is your only guess, and then entries got to be made during tip-off. And the closest person will get a ChrisBeCappinn t-shirt. They're available in white and black, and you guys can see sizes small through extra large. So the only game we got on the board today is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They will be in Dallas trying to extend this series to a game 7. We got a total sitting at 210, and we have the Dallas Mavericks sitting as a 3.5-point favorite. This number opened at 4, and the total opened at 210.5. It's down to 209 pretty much on all books, and that was recent because I literally just played the total, and I did go under here. I'm tired of trying to pick the team that's going to win. I can see, arguments for both sides. Throughout the series, though, the constant has been whether Luka plays good or not, because Dallas has won both games that Luka has played good. Luka specifically is coming off a game where he scored 30? Did he have 31? 31 points, went 5 for 11 from the 3-point line. So, and Dallas, of course, won the rebounding battle, and that's been the consistent here, in my opinion. I really want to play Dallas minus the 3.5. I do think that they want to avoid the game 7, as somebody already mentioned in the comment section. But I think I'm gonna stay off of the side in this game, and I feel more comfortable playing the total. So I will talk about the side. Like I said, if you like OKC, you got to expect a lot of offensive regression here. This team has been absolutely locked down by the Dallas Mavericks, and you can say Dallas is just a really good matchup for them. You can say that they haven't been able to really get out and run because Dallas doesn't turn the ball over, because Dallas is an excellent transition defense. Dallas just really seems locked in, and I thought OKC had a chance to win this series. In my bracket, I did pick the Dallas Mavericks to advance, and I think it could end today, man. I'm not gonna count OKC out. This is why I'm not gonna take the side. So don't let me talk you into or off of the side. But the consistency here tells me that this game is gonna go under. So let's start there. So 4 to 5 matchups in the series have actually gone towards the under. And the two teams are averaging just a combined 207 points, which is still 3 points below this 210, 209.5 number. Both teams have actually gone under in both of the games in Dallas so far, and not just under, but in game 3, they went under by 11 points. And the total was sitting at 217. And in game 4, that game went under the closing number of 215.5, and it went under by 19.5 points. OKC's just not been able to score the basketball this series the way that they were in the regular season. They shot 25% from 3 in the home game in game 5, just 10 for 40 from the 3-point line, and just 42.5% overall as well. It's really just, like I said, it's been Dallas defense. That's been the one consistent, whether Luka's going to score or Luka's not going to score, whether Kyrie's going to score or Kyrie's not going to score. And some of those bench guys like a Derrick Jones Jr. who lit OKC up in game 5. The defense has been consistent for Dallas, and that's really what, in my opinion, really has created the 3-2 lead in this series. What else? There's also been, what else I had in my notes? They've also been getting limited opportunities because Dallas has been by far the better rebounding team in the series. They won the rebounding battle. They were plus 13 in game 5, the Dallas Mavericks were. And for the series, OKC is making 10.5 threes per game, shooting just 33% from the 3-point line. Below 33%, it's 32.7 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And, those numbers are stifling because in comparison to the regular season, this OKC team shot, they made 13.5 threes per game. So that's 9 less points per contest. And they shot 39%. They're shooting less than 33%. And in the regular season, they shot 39%. This is one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the throughout the entirety of the regular season. Now, if we flip it, I do think you're going to get OKC's best defensive efforts here as well. Back against the wall, really wanting to force a game 7. We've seen them really stifle Dallas's offense, especially when they can, slow down Luka. And, they've been trending towards the under when they can do so. So if you're expecting some regression for Luka, I think that trends towards the under here as well. Like I said, he did have 31 points, shot 5 for 11 from the 3-point line. If he wasn't, he looked like regular season Luka. If he wasn't scoring, he was dishing. And a lot of those shots were going in. Dallas also shot 53% from the field in game 5 and 40% from the 3-point line. And they still only managed just 104 points. And that game easily went under. So that's my play. I like unders. Historically, last thing I'll say about the under, then I'll check some of the comments. Historically, game 6s are 101, 75, and 6 to the under. So that's almost 78. That's almost 58%, which is trustworthy for me. I do think that we get maximum effort from both teams here. I lean Dallas to go ahead and close the series out, but I did play the 210 right before the show started. I haven't even sent it out to the members yet, but I do like the 210. Let's go back to the comments. What up? Oh no, I thought I saw somebody. I didn't. Let's go back to the comments real quick. Let's see. Ringy says, "Hey Chris, it's my birthday. Let's make some money. Have a great day, everyone. Drop kick the books in the face today. Happy birthday, my brother. Hope all is well. Hope you enjoy the birthday as well, man. Hopefully you bankrupt the books today. I hope you cash." Snag says he's running back Kyrie over his 5.5 assists. Missed last game, had 4 on 13 potential. It makes a ton of sense to me. That's a great cap there, Snag. 13. I'm probably gonna take my chances as well. What else? What up, Z's Nuts? Appreciate you for being here. He says, let's get this paper today. What else we got in here? Or in here from Israel says, have to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch Mavs versus Thunder tonight. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Jamie says, what's up, Chris? Thanks for doing the show today, bro. Nah, I appreciate you for being here, Jamie, as always. What up, PZ? Moneyline Mitch. Oh, Moneyline Mitch. Is this Moneyline Mitch from Sports Memo? I wonder. What up, Moneyline Mitch? Either way, what's up, man? Markel, what's going on, my brother? DT says, y'all make sure I hit the like button. Top of the morning to myself. What up, DT? Appreciate you for being here. Eric, always here. Matt likes the under and the Mavs on the money line, and that could be the way to play it, right? Instead of them winning by 2 possessions, just take the money line, lay the juice with them. I'm not sure. Let me see what the best money line is that you can get right now before we transition into the W. Money line for the Mavs. I got my screen, my sportsbook screen, for OddsJam set on WNBA. So let me transition over to the NBA real quick and find the money line price for the Dallas Mavericks. Jesus, it's tough. 167, 165, 167 on Bet Rivers. I don't really like laying that much, but I guess. Let me talk to you all. Tariq says, good morning, Chris. I thought the Knicks were going to break home. Favorite narratives. I was wrong, and I was right there with you. What up, Nesbet? She says, what's up, brother? Liberty for me today at home. First WNBA bet. Team's trying to make a statement versus Clark, and that's a fact. We're going to transition to that game in just a second, Nesbet. But I do appreciate you being here, and I hope all is well with you. Been a long time since I talked to my guy, Nesbet. Z's Ness, it's hard to play the over today, but I also think we see some improvement from OKC shooting. I don't think so, Z's Ness. I think it'd be like this Oklahoma City Thunder team. If you go back and watch the first video that I did in Game 1 for this series, I talked about how OKC was a much better home team than road team throughout the regular season. Their offense isn't as potent. The defense is not as good throughout the regular season, but the defense has been good throughout the postseason. It's been a lot better than they played during the regular season if you go in and look at the advanced numbers. However, their offense is not translated. Like offense, even against in the first round against the Pelicans, when they went to New Orleans, they didn't necessarily score the ball that well in the first round in games 3 and 4 before they swept the Pelicans. So I don't think their offense is going to be that great. What's up, Chaz? Tariq says, I got to take my daughter to a soccer game in this rain. Need a win today? Yeah, my son's soccer got canceled. We were supposed to have soccer this morning too. Matt likes the Fever and Liberty under or minus 14.5 and plus Caitlin Clark to go under her points. So we're gonna jump there in a second. Derek says we got 2 game 7s. I think a third one is overkill. Mavs need rest for Denver in the next round. And a lot of different narratives. Chioki says, Derek, I think you're spot on. What did Derek say? What did I mean? Oh, he agrees here. Okay. OJ says, if this were to go 7, would the game be Sunday? I am not sure. You can check it out though. Like I just didn't look into that. And Sergo says thoughts on Clark points over. I'm not playing Caitlin Clark. I'm not playing Caitlin Clark until she plays against a bad defense. Tariq says if you parlay the Mavs in the under, Mavs money line in the under, you can get a plus 165. And I couldn't talk you off there. I do think if the Mavs win, it's going to be an under type game. Yeah, and B Fesh, I think it's like Felsk says 2-leg Mavs money line in the under. Also OKC team total under 103. And David says you cash big in the MLB. These make sense. These definitely make a lot of sense. So yeah, under 210 is official play for me in this game. I stayed away from the side, but I do lean towards the Mavs to be able to get the job done here. I just don't like what I've been seeing from OKC. And the Mavs defense has been good. Like I said, whether Luka's been playing well or not, Mavs defense has been solid. All right, so transitioning to the W, man, we got the Indiana Fever. They will be in New York. They are getting 14 points as road dogs here, and I had to transition to my WNBA notes. And this is the rematch from Thursday's game of the actual home opener for the Liberty. This Liberty team is 2-0 on the season. They are 1-1 against the spread. They lost. They didn't cover against the Mystics in game 1, but they smoked the Fever in game 2. They dominated that game. They ended up beating the Fever. It was 1-0. What was it, like 102 to 66? Absolute beatdown. And the Liberty owned the Fever. Like if you go back and just look at it historically, they're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 in the head-to-head matchups, including like I said, that beatdown 102 to 66. Liberty led by 37, ended up winning the game by 36. As far as head-to-head stuff, the over is 7-1 in the last 8 meetings between the two teams, and I think we have seen the total trickle up just a tad bit. The Fever gave up 92 points on opening night in Connecticut to the Sun, and then New York just hit them for 102. And I honestly, I could see that continuing to happen. I just don't think this Fever team, they are young. They will have games where they play pretty well this season. I just don't think it's going to come against any of these really good teams, especially these really good defensive offensive teams. I talked about this, and one of the reasons why I like Connecticut in the season opener was just because the Fever defense really, really struggles. I don't think that it's going to just magically get any better anytime soon. Coach Wallace, I think her name is Coach Wallace for the Indiana Fever. She has a work cut out. They're just not a good defensive team, and they want to play fast. Who is that in the NBA? A team that wants to play fast and plays no defense? The Washington Wizards? I guess we could say that the Fever are close to the Washington Wizards. I just think that it's going to probably be more of an over game. If anything, the Fever may shoot the ball a little bit better. We failed to hit the first half over because they were losing 48-31 at halftime, and just couldn't muster up enough points. But in this spot specifically, I do think it's a look towards the Liberty again. I don't necessarily want to play the full game. I'll play the first half. You can get a 7.5 on ESPN Bet for this game. And the big part of it is just, I think the Liberty continue to dominate the Fever. I think that, as somebody said, somebody said in the chat earlier, Caitlin Clark has a target on her back. The Liberty only shot 8 for 27 from the three-point line and still got to 102 points. Last season at home, they averaged 89 points. And when they were home favorites, and they finished 12-7 to the over as home favorites as well. So Liberty team total, I think, is 91.5. I know that's a big number, but I do think that if they scored 102 points in Indiana, I don't see them really letting up off the gas in their season opener. And I think the Fever going to still play fast as well. So my recommendations for this game would be Liberty first half, minus the 7.5. And I would also be looking towards the Liberty team total to go over the 91.5. I think minus 115 on ESPN Bet is where I saw the 91.5. Those would be my recommendations for this game. As far as player props, I'm not going to jump too deep into them, but I will tell you guys, Benaja Laney was glued to Caitlin Clark in that last game. I heard the coach said that they're going to make adjustments, try to get her the ball, probably coming off some down screens or trying to get her the ball away from Benaja Laney. I'm just not sure how successful that's going to be. They were glued to her, and I don't see them getting showed up in their own arena here. So I would not be looking towards Caitlin Clark to go over her points prop here. She should have a bounce back game, but I don't know if it's going to go get her to a points prop, and it's probably dropped. Let's see what it is. Caitlin Clark is at 18.5 minus 125 on BetMGM, and if you want the under, you can get the under at minus 125 at under 19.5. So Nalissa Smith would be who I would target if I was targeting anybody for this team. I just think she has the better matchup. Leah Boston, It could be difficult for her, down there trying to battle against Jonquel Jones. So that's the way I would look. I would look probably towards Nalissa Smith if I was playing any of the player props. You can get Nalissa Smith at 14.5. Let's see what you guys are seeing here. John says he's joining in from the Philippines. He says under is the play but a bit worried that it's been 3 straight games that OKC has been shooting awful, that they may have a great game here. And like I said, it's not been 3 straight games. It's actually been 4 straight games. Outside of game 1, OKC didn't really they haven't shot the basketball well at all. So I would chuck it up to, Dallas, just being a really good defensive team, specifically from the 3-point line. What else are you guys saying here? Stephen says, fade him on the NBA picks. Not sure if he's talking about me, but yeah, I've been trash on the NBA. So I'll be the first person to admit that my NBA picks have been, in the playoffs, have not been great at all. But I'm not sure if you're talking about me. If you are, that's cool too. Love, I need comments like this if this was meant for me. Freeband says Luka over his 3-point prop here. Couldn't talk you off there. Luka just gonna take a lot. Net says line just moved to 13.5. That's even better if you like the Liberty here. And if you like the first half too. Adam likes OKC team total under. John says plus Jalen Williams hasn't been playing well. He might be due for a better offensive game. Yeah, I agree. But you also got to look at the pace in these games as well. The pace has been really, really slow. There's not a lot of possessions. Both of these teams kind of playing at a snail's pace. OKC wants to get out and run. Dallas isn't letting them. Dallas transition defense has been really, really good. They're not turning the ball over a lot. And I do think that's one of the reasons why OKC has struggled to score the basketball. Derek says he took Jalen Williams under his 20.5. Gail says fading Caitlin Clark is scary, but will probably be profitable until she gets used to the league. Yeah, fading her early was probably the move. And I would still fade her against any of these teams. The Connecticut Sun and the Liberty were teams that both made the playoffs last year. The Liberty ended up in the WNBA finals. So you're not just going, they put Benajelani on it. She's still going to struggle, in my opinion. OJ says first game for Caitlin Clark in why she's likely to show up. I think first game in Indiana, with all those fans playing at Fieldhouse Stadium, I think she would have showed up for that game too. But don't let me talk you off. Whatever it is that you like. Mike says WNBA games barely hit 170, and I agree with that. It's a lot of second half unders that typically happen. Justin likes that team total over for the Liberty, and Matt says he likes Courtney Vandersloot under her points and steals. I don't even know if you can put those together. Under her points, maybe he said he's stealing money. Okay. Thomas like OKC money line plus the 3.5. And Justin says if he was talking to you, you can't take a non-member smart comment seriously. My guy Justin always rocking with me, man. Appreciate that, Justin. Tariq says the bottom line is the Mavs need to close out at home, and I agree with that. Let's keep pushing, get through this last couple games real quick. We got the Sparks and the Aces. Sparks will be on the road. They are getting 18.5 points. I saw this line all the way up to 19 and a half, and it's coming down to 18. I mean, 18 is such a big number to lay with the Aces. When I was looking into this game, I actually thought that the Aces were on the road here. So I capped the game. Some of the numbers that I looked at were off just because I had the Aces on the road. So Sparks 0-1 on the season. They are 0-1 against the spread. They lost their first game against the Dream. And it really was the second half. They came out and played pretty hard in the first half, but the really good teams in the W, teams don't really get blown out. It's more so they just kind of run out of energy. They run out of gas. But teams that play hard, and most of the teams do, they end up keeping the game close in the beginning. I think we saw this last night with the Washington Mystics. Yeah, with the Mystics. They did it in game 1. They actually had a lead against the Liberty and at halftime. And then, as the game goes on, they just kind of, run out of gas. You can't play that hard for the full game. The same thing with the Sparks. The Sparks did the same thing. They were, kept that game competitive against the Atlanta Dream in their home opener, and then they ended up losing the fourth quarter pretty poorly. So I say that to say this. Injury report, Asir Thompson Azurá Stevens, I'm sorry, Asura Thompson. Azurá Stevens will remain out. She did not play. I don't think she played in game one. And also Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray is big for the Aces. And that's one of the reasons I'm not laying 18.5 points with them. The Sparks are in rebuild mode, though. I will say that. They are in rebuild mode. I just don't trust the Aces enough to lay 18.5 points. They don't have a lot of depth. They don't have a backup point guard, in my opinion. And the Sparks defense, I mean, against the Atlanta Dream the other day, they can't be trusted. They allowed the Atlanta Dream to shoot 47% from the field, 51% from the field, 47% from three, 51% from the field. I don't want to lay 18 points with the Aces. Not quite yet. I think if I had to play this game, maybe the Aces first quarter, first half would be ways that I would look. But 18, just because you expect them to play better, they didn't cover that game against the Mercury in game one. This Sparks offense is a lot less limited, and they will be without a couple key players here. So this is the game I feel super strong with. I can see the Sparks getting the backdoor cover here, keeping this within 15. But I could also see the Aces running them off the floor. I just don't want to bet it without Chelsea Gray being there. So I stayed away from this one. But if you guys are playing it, best of luck here. Let's see. Joe says you probably said this before, but is there a site you can you use for to SDQL for WNBA? So yeah, Joe, you can use Give Me the Dog. Give Me the Dog is on the resource page that I always talk about. This year it is paid. You have to pay. I think it's like $50. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. But yeah, you can SDQL WNBA parameters on Give Me the Dog. This makes a ton of sense here. Matt says he took Asia Wilson over her points. And I talked about this. The line was 20.5, 21.5, I think. 21.5, minus 135 on DraftKings. I still remember this. I got this in my head for game one. And it makes sense because they going to have Cameron Brink on her. Cameron Brink played really, really well. I think she was a plus in the plus minus in game one of the season. She played really, really well against the Atlanta Dream. This is different. This is a different matchup. And, Asia always, her points prop sitting at 22.5 right now is minus 130 on DraftKings. And I'm probably going to put a little bit on Asia myself, if I'm being honest with you. I like this look here, man. No Chelsea Gray means that the offense is going to have to run through Asia a little bit more. And I don't know if people watched it, but she had like 17 points in the first half the other day, or 15 in the first quarter, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. This just makes a ton of sense. And like I said, the Sparks, they're not gonna have anybody to slow it down. They should also be able to shoot the 3-point ball well. Also, like I said, Atlanta was able to shoot the ball well against the Aces also. So Atlanta was able to shoot the ball well against the Sparks also. So this makes a ton of sense. Keith says going to take Clark rebounds and assists since Kelsey Mitchell is starting, and Sabrina over her 3.5 threes. So this, I'm glad you brought this up as well, Keith. Because she's not able to score the ball, Caitlin Clark has been looking to do other things. And remember, I did say this. I said her assists over is probably a better look than her points over. And that's been proven to be true. She's going to impact the game in a lot of different ways outside of not, just solely being dependent upon scoring the basketball. She's an excellent rebounder to be a guard. And she's probably the best point guard on this team, especially when you got Kelsey Mitchell, Tiffany Mitchell, who is a score first point guard. Like, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is already the best passer on the team. So her rebounds and assists over 9.5 makes a lot more sense than her points, in my opinion. I think it's a really, really good look from Keith here as well. Caitlin Clark, I didn't even look into this. Caitlin Clark over 9.5 rebounds and assists. She's going to be out there. Like, I don't think, even in a blowout, I think she's going to continue to play. So I like this look a lot. Couldn't talk you off of that at all, Keith. I think that's a really solid look. Next game up, we got the Chicago Sky. They will be in Dallas for the second time in a row. These two teams matched up just the other night, and we cashed on the Sky plus the 8.5. It was a sweaty bet just because they kind of ran out of gas in the fourth quarter, got outscored 25-17 in the fourth quarter. And this one is a tad bit different, though. That line, was at 12, and we ended up jumping on it when it got all the way down to 8.5. So definitely lost some CLV and barely ended up cashing. This one is at 6. And the reason why is because Natasha Howard got hurt in that last game. She will not be available in this game. And that's big because Natasha Howard is a big part of their offense. She had 15 points on 7 for 16 shooting, and they're already without Satu Sabali as well. It's difficult for me to want to trust the Sky on the road, but I kind of feel like they have some regression that could come for them. They shot just 39% from the field, 30% from the three-point line, and still managed to cover in that first game. I said this the other day, but I think they're going to always play hard for Coach Teresa Weatherspoon. I think they really enjoy her as a coach, and I'm just really having a hard time figuring out where the points are going to come in this game. So I do kind of lean towards the under as well, because with no Natasha Howard, with no Satu Sabali, Arika Ogunbowale gonna have to shoot a lot of shots, and they still do have Tierra McCowan, who was a beast. I know she had a double-double, I think, at halftime, finished with like 18 points and like 13 rebounds or something. But that, to me, that's it's difficult to see the Wings continuing to be able to score the basketball. The total in game one was 161.5. It went up 9 points to 169.5, and now it's coming back down to 167.5. So I agree with the total coming down. When I think about the Sky, I think about a team that is more defensive oriented than offensive oriented, outside of Dana Evans and Maria Mabry. Their bigs are more defensive oriented than offensive oriented. So I think I like the under a little bit more than anything else in this game. But I do kind of want to take the Sky again, if I'm being honest with you guys. I just haven't bet it yet. Let's see what you guys are saying here about this one before we keep it moving. Blessed Bet It says Indiana team total under 77.5. Unless it's a big blowout, Blessed. And then, the Liberty score 105, 110 points. And then, they don't really care. They let up on the defensive end because they got their reserves in the fourth quarter. Because I thought about this as well. JFX says, judging how the last game went with the Liberty and the Fever, I stay away from the Fever. They're trying to make life for Clark hell for her this year. And I agree. I said that at the beginning. I think she's going to struggle, especially against the really good teams. And if you're the Liberty, it's your home opener for one, and you're definitely not trying to get showed up by a rookie. So, from a motivational perspective, Caitlin Clark is going to be super locked in. I agree, but I do think it's going to take a while. Could the Liberty let up off the gas just a tad bit because they're coming off a 36-point win? Potentially, but it is their season opener, which is why I like them first half minus the 7.5. Thomas likes the Padres in the MLB. Keith says Sparks gave up 50 points in the paint. Gotta look towards Asia here. Makes a ton of sense. What up to my guy Fahrenheit? Appreciate you for tapping in this morning, Fahrenheit. Hope all is well with you, my brother. He says give him Tierra McCowan over her 12.5 rebounds at plus 102 on FanDuel. She might grab 20 rebounds. Yeah, if it's gonna be a defensive game, Tierra McCowan, as long as she's active, she could she was killing them on the glass, and I could see that happening again with Williams being the big down there for Chicago, outside of Angel Reese as well. But Angel Reese is going, she played well in game one. I think she's still going to get getting acclimated to the W here. Mike says Clark is going to facilitate more than score. I agree with that. And Matt says McCowan over her points easy as well. So maybe Tierra McCowan, if you can find her double prop, I could definitely want to talk you guys off of that. Let's keep pushing. We got 2 more games real quick to get through. Next game up, we got the Atlanta Dream and the Mercury. Or is this the last game? I think this might be the last game, right? Yeah, I think this is the last game. So we got the Atlanta Dream and the Mercury here. The Dream are laying a 1.5. This line actually opened with the Dream being a 1.5 point dog. And now it's actually up to 2. I see it 2.5. And this was, I see 3. So a lot of money coming in on Atlanta here. I talked about really liking Atlanta in game one. Didn't send it out as official play, but they were laying 5. They were laying 5 as road favorites against the Sparks, and now they get a Phoenix Mercury team that I think is going to be much improved this season. The problem, if you like the Phoenix Mercury here, is that Brittany Griner remains out. She missed game one against the Aces, and they played well. The Mercury shot the leather off the ball against the Aces in game 1. They shot 15 for 36 from the 3-point line and 42% overall. And that was against a really good Aces defense. Here's the other problem. Rebecca Allen, she's listed as questionable, and she's also a really great defender for the Mercury coming over from the Connecticut Sun, and she can shoot the 3-point ball really, really well. So she's listed as questionable. I think it's a back injury. I'm not sure if she's going to play or not. This game does not tip off until 10 o'clock tonight, so you got some time to kind of figure out. But when I saw on the injury report, I kind of wanted to back the Phoenix Mercury here as a home dog. But without BG, I know that's a bunch of points they're going to give up in the paint. And without Rebecca Allen, that's a lot less defense as well, and some 3-point shooting that's going to be missing. Now, on the Atlanta side, they will still be without Jordan Canada. She's still yet to make her season debut after coming over for the Los Angeles Sparks. But this team has a bunch of scorers. I talked about that, and in my opinion, they have a bunch of depth. They have a lot of key contributors. Crystal Dangerfield off the bench, who didn't even have a good game 1. Just a bunch of scores. So this game, the total is starting to. It opened at 170 and is still about 170 and a half, 170, 169. I see it at, but more of the money's coming in on Atlanta here. If Rebecca Allen doesn't play, I do like Atlanta. I do think they can start the season off 2-0. This was a team, like I said the other day, they really struggled on the road. But I do think they should be able to get the job done because they're much improved, and I think they're going to continue to play really, really hard, and they're just going to be much more improved. So the Phoenix Mercury, not a team that I want to fade too often, but with no BG and potentially no Rebecca Allen, that's the way I would probably fade them here. It's also difficult to win in Phoenix for whatever reason. I remember having the Atlanta Dream last year against the Mercury, and it was the game that Diana Taurasi broke the record, and Atlanta was laying a couple points. I was heavy on Atlanta in that game, and they got smoked. So I vividly, when I saw this line open up, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, it's difficult. But with no BG, and I don't think BG played. Well, she might have played, but with no BG and potentially no Rebecca Allen, not that I don't think Phoenix is going to continue to play hard. I just think Atlanta has a little bit more depth. And by far the better team, especially without the rim protection for the Phoenix. So I think I would look at Atlanta probably on the money line to stay away from the spread, but I want to see if Rebecca Allen is going to play. And that's what we got. Mike says Sky Wings under 167. In agreement there. Fahrenheit reminding everybody to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that. Justin likes Tina Charles over her rebounds. He says with no Brittany Garner, she'll eat, and I would agree with that. Tina Charles is she had a really good game 1, so I could definitely see Tina Charles. I think without Brittany Griner, this Mercury team will lack size. So I'm not sure what you can get Tina Charles rebounds at, but this makes a ton of sense. I'm actually gonna write this down too, Justin. I hadn't thought about that. Tina Charles over her rebounds prop, and I kind of do like points. I think that both teams will try to get out and run fast, so couldn't talk anybody off that. Robert says Tina Charles gets a lot of usage. She has a great game last game. Yeah, she does, but like for Atlanta, it could be anybody. They got a lot of great scores on this team. Haley Jones, they got a lot of great scores. So yeah, I kind of, and here you go. Fahrenheit got it. 8+ rebounds for Tina Charles, -144 on FanDuel, 13 points at -132 on FanDuel. She had 21 and 14 last game. Phoenix has no resistance down low. Barbecue chicken alert. I could see it. So short list here. I didn't play any WNBA, but I did play OKC Dallas under the 210 as my favorite player of the day. So yeah, I'm about to jump on with my guy Cal so we can go through NBA and WNBA as well. But here's the short list, and I'm probably going to end up playing a few of these. Really want to wait on Atlanta Phoenix, see if Rebecca Allen is going to play. But I think points are going to be had in that game. I like both offenses a lot. And the Liberty, I just think that they're going to run away from this Indiana Fever team as well. So these are the top looks for myself. Best of luck on whatever it is that you do bet. As always, I'll leave you guys with resources here. Shout out to OddsJam, as I always do. The best sports betting software in the world. Use code CBC to get 25% off your first month if you're interested. And that's it, man. Like the show, comment, share, subscribe if you found it helpful. Link to all my official plays when I do make them will be in the comment section. As always, Bet responsibly and enjoy your Sunday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.